So today, this is the content I am preparing just because of the live cases. One of our students, Shubik, recently experiencing interview in Infosys. They are asking a questions that what do you mean by attributes in AD? He said attributes, it's a predefined forms located in the schema, because through this AD create information, AD create object because user define information and create object. HR says absolutely right. Now my questions, will you be able to add any extra attribute, special attribute if I say something related to this? He said, yes, I can, but I'm not sure the exact steps. Later on, he asked, my requirement, you have to create one special attribute in AD. Now, this attribute should be visible to all the users. And later on, based on that attribute, we will sync that user to cloud. Trust me, these kind of questions I never face in my whole career. This is purely L4 level things they have asked to do. So today in this demonstration, I will tell you what exactly it is. So for your information, this is the fresh domain controllers, right? In the fresh domain controllers, if I go to open your AD, dsa.msc, in dsa.msc, if I create any user, let's create one OU. Okay. Now in this particular, okay, let's open Active Directory in advanced mode. Always you open, whenever you work now, always open Active Directory in advanced mode. Okay, perfect. Now go to org users, that's users. By default, it's a domain admin, non-domain admin. If you go to attribute editor, these attribute are common for everyone. Any operating systems, any ways you go, this is Microsoft default attribute, and the attribute presents in schema predefined form through which you have to define value, and based on that certain programs can be implemented. They are saying I want to include one special attribute, let's say Infosys or KPMG sync or Taurus sync, like that certain attribute they need to implement here. Okay, and based on that attribute, later on it's a cloud part, based on that attribute, if it is equals to 1, then that sync will be happen. So that is a different things. So first implementation, first thing is to have to how to create that attribute in AD, because unless you create the attribute in AD, forget about sync rule can be different. Later on I will tell you that's not a big deal. The big deal is that how will you create the attribute in AD. So for your information, once I came to know from Shovik, I had done certain investigations, and I have prepared that. I'll tell you how it's look like. How it's look like. I have done schema modifications. Open dsa.msc. right? Let's say this is the users. If I go to the attribute, I have created one attribute KPMG Go Azure Sync. If I go to here, in the same here, if I go to KP, there is no attribute done. So that I have created extra attribute in AD. Now guys, this is not the easiest thing that you see. Oh my god, where is the challenge? I can go schema and update it. No. While you are adding this attribute, do you think what exactly you are doing? You are changing the Microsoft rules. Now, in lab environment, you can do sudden all the bullshits, no matters. But trust me, in organization level, in production environment, you have to raise a case with Microsoft. You tell them this is your legacy and I am to do modification due to my requirement. Again, Microsoft will raise the case. Microsoft give you a token. That token will give the unique ID of that schema. So based on that unique ID, you have to attribute. Even Microsoft will get charged for this. This is not the easiest things, right? So let's understand what exactly it is. Active Directory schema extension, custom attribute creation. Okay, it's a corporate notes. In Active Directory extension complete, here Active Directory extension used to add new classes or attribute to the Active Directory database, ntds.date. So organization generally extend the schema when an application or business process require strong information that is not available in the default Active Directory. Now let's say employee SAP ID. There is a requirement, one attribute employee SAP ID or HR employee code, Azure Sync flag, application ID, KPMG Go Azure Sync. This kind of attribute whenever it is required. Required for what? Certain program enabled, certain program enablement, right? Because it can be in metaverse can perform certain activity. It can be some LDAP programs that SAP will connect AD, and based on that attribute he will perform certain programs. That is the reason this kind of attribute is required. Now what Active Directory schema? Active Directory schema is a blueprint of Active Directory. It defines which object class can exist, which attribute each object can contain, attribute data type, syntax length, replication behavior, and search index. So without the schema, Active Directory would not know what information is allowed to store. When do we extend the schema? Schema extension should only be performed when there is a valid business requirement. Example, HR integration, third-party identity management, Azure Entra ID synchronization, Exchange installation, SCCM, labs, PKI product, custom enterprise application. Important fact before extending the schema. Schema changes are forest-wide. Once an attribute is created, it's replicated every domain controllers. It exists in every domain within the forest. So you cannot create a schema attribute for only one domain. Keep it in mind. Second, schema extension is permanent. Attribute cannot be deleted further. Only possible actions are disable, deface, and stop using. Never create test attribute in productions. Remember.
Attribute means information of a.
Acha. For your information, you want users particular one function to be input like employee ID. You want that export all the user in AD, employee ID start with 20. Now my questions, if there is no place to update that employee ID, will you be ever achieve this?
No.
Where you update the employee ID, see that. In attribute editor, employee ID field is there. So this is called attribute. But this is a default. But this is a Microsoft default. Microsoft giving you that information. But your demand quite different. Apart from this, you need extra things. What extra things? Like this. These are the things you need extra. Because enable certain programs. But this is not present in AD. Then where is the options? Only schema extension it's required. Clear? Now sudden red flag is if schema extension is done, then it is a permanent, it cannot be reverted. You can make it disable but null, but it cannot be deleted from the schema tables. So before performing it, take the backup. That is the first things. However, I am not telling anyone to do this experience in your environment, production environment. Be careful. It's a specific requirement. Company will set up a call, understand the demand, high authority contact Microsoft, do certain payment agreement and then performs. So perform during maintenance window, reason schema modification trigger replication across every domain controllers. You need an enterprise admin plus schema admin. Okay. FSMO role required where FSMO roles is there. Now register Active Directory schema snapping, as you know, right? Open Active Directory schema console, right? Then first go to file admin snapping Active Directory schema, add, okay. The first we will go to attribute, right click, create attribute. Then after attribute done, then we'll go to user class, select user, and then we will do it. Clear? Is that clear? So for your information, I have created KPMG Go Azure Sync 1 attribute, right? Now where I find out that, Achha, before that I'm telling you, you have to remember, you have to run this script. And you have to perform wherever your FSMO roles are there. What script? That is SCHMMGM2 reg SVR with SCHMMGMT.dll. I think everyone remember, right? No one forget.
Yes.
After that, open dsa.msc. Sorry. Okay. Then you go to MMC. You see that schema is there. Okay. Now in schema, there is a class, there is an attribute. So in attribute, you will see KPMG there. So first I will create an attribute here. Then I will merge with user classes. Clear? Is that clear now? So first what we can do now, again I'm telling you this is very risky. Don't execute in your environment, guys. I mean official environment. You can do it in your lab but not in production. Be careful. So create attribute. Click on one. There's a warning options come. Click on continue. Common name, let's say syncing. Syncing. This is the attribute name. Okay. Right? Syncing. It's required unique X500 object ID that will give by Microsoft, guys. Got it? Here we can put it using this one. A test one. You will be see that integer. Minimum 1, maximum 1. Don't see here, click on it because it's a single value, not the multi value. Perfect. Click on syncing, right? Come to the class. Where you want to integrate this attribute? Option is user. Click on user. Right click, attribute. Right? Here click on add. Which one? Syncing. Okay. Click on apply. Okay. Right? This is done from AD part. It's a small practical but very, very informative. Okay. Now,
দাদা এটা একটু আপলোড করে দেবে দাদা।
obviously, definitely. Now, I want to see that attribute, how it's look like. Is in the command set -ad user. Let's create one user. Admin 1. Now you want to see him through PowerShell. Right click, if I go to KPMG attribute, it's look like this because it's already present the value. It will tell you there is no value find. Syncing showing there. KPMG, it's not set. If I set 1, I think it's recorded restart. Okay, let's reboot.
Now, what is the command will do?
Actually, this command will get that information, what the value is holding.
Okay.
Then one command get user, you will find out that what the command is holding, what the field is holding. Then using set command, we will add that value over there. Clear?
Okay. But we can set the value from the dsa.msp also, right?
But if it is thing 1000 user, so 1000 user you have to do it manually.
Okay.
That is automations. Okay, now you have no added newly extension just to make sure whether it is reflecting or populating or not. How? Using PowerShell. So you have to run the command get -ad user tab admin1 property star pipe select name kpmg go azure sync. Okay, what parameter presents here? Let's check. Yes, got it. Attribute is showing there. So if I go to same for syncing, got it, it will give you the value as well. Now syncing value is 1. Now if you add that syncing value here manually or using command as your choice, because if it is bulk you need to give bulk using PowerShells. So it will show you both the custom attribute I've added to PowerShell, right? So AD part is complete. So in interview wanted to check your knowledge. Did you ever perform schema extension? If yes, how to do this? That part is done. Part 2. Part 2 is telling that these particular entries need to reflect in Entra Connect. So for your information, this part apart from Sunday batch, it would be blur because you guys don't know Entra ID Connect metaverse. So you guys can watch it, because whenever will come to Entra for you, you will understood right now. So till now AD part is done. Then I'm going to show you Entra part using the same extension. Clear? Now what I need to do, go to your Entra connector first. In Entra connector, you have to refresh your schema because you made the thing is in AD, but trust me, that will not gonna sync right way in your Entra unless it is a forceful done. So what you need to do, you log in here. This will not come to your inbound rule, right? Unless directory sync performed. How to do a directory sync? Go to Entra Connect. Yes. Configure. There is options called refresh directory schema. Do it. Okay. So one of the article I came to know that normally you cannot create this unless you need a Microsoft involvement, right? But yes, we will try as much as we can do. At least we sync to metaverse, right? At least we sync to metaverse and just show that attribute is reflect. That is fair enough. So your schema is extends refresh done. Perfect. So start using connect sync service. It will take some time. Don't close it or interrupt the sync. Yes, perfect. Next is what? You directly go to your Entra Connect Sync. sync rule editor. So other than Sunday morning cloud batch, guys, don't worry. Whenever you will go Entra ID, you have a scratch from knowledge. Okay. So as of now, AD schema is common for everyone. So that's why that part for everyone. This part only for cloud batch. You guys can see, but for your knowledge purpose. Now here you are going to do it some inbound rule. So Shovik, especially I'm telling to you, this is your concern, right? But I'm telling you, we may failed because certain KB article I found, other than Microsoft default, anything you will do, you can add in schema, but in Entra Connect it will create a problems. In that case, Microsoft involvement is required. But yes, we will try to show you at least we seeing that attribute in Cloud Connector, right? That is our motto, right? Okay, so in that case, first click on add new rules. Add new rules. In add new rules, so give that name is in from AD hyphen KPMG. Okay. Connected system is your Active Directory. Connected system object will be user. Metaverse object type is person, right? Precedence, you can do anything, it's not a big deal. Okay. Next is, this is very important, scope filter. In scope filter, add clause. In this case, port syncing, you can see now syncing syncing and KPMG both is available equals to 1. That is our rule. Okay. In join rule, forget about it. Achha, in transformation rule, it's very critical. Okay. Here what we can do now, flow type will be direct, target attribute, just simple display name. Source display name. Just to let them go, that's it. Okay. Then click on add. Now again I'm telling you, we may failure Shovik. So don't be hurted. We may failure. I'm trying at least to keep that attribute available in Metaverse so that it can be synced. Right? Now what I can do now, let's open PowerShell, run the command. Start -AD sync. Start AD sync cycle policy type initial. That means full synchronizations. Done. Now in AD Now in AD, what are the things we have created? Users, two users created. Did I give admin 1 KPMG? So let's see, admin wants to be there, expecting admin wants to be there. Excellent. Excellent. See that. Admin 1 is synced. Clear?
Yes.
Now, let's cross your finger. I'm creating another user. Let's see whether it will be sync or not. I'm still not believe it will happen or not. Let's see. Let's create user admin 14. Yes, because still the synchronization is going on. It cannot allow you to do that. Hmm. Still the process is going on. Let's see. Let's cross the finger and see whether it is happening or not. Wow, great. It's not work. It's not work. So let's do one thing. Make that value change. Okay. Make it 1. ठीक है? Yes. Let's see. This should be reflect. Let's see.
Refresh the page, I think.
I don't think that it will come. As I certain KV article I came to know, here certain Microsoft will follow the rules. Microsoft will involve here. Let's see. Where it is fine. We created IT user as well, right? Do one thing. Acha. Acha, do one thing. Do one thing. Yes, do one thing. Put the employee ID because that was the earlier condition we have given, right? So because while we have created that Entra code, remember we have given that options that if employee ID will be there, then only user will be sync. So that could be primary cause of that. So let's see. Excellent. Excellent, guys. See that. Even I am telling you, again another condition. Again another condition. That user admin 1. Sorry. Okay. Create another user. Create another user. Admin 15. Okay. But this time, remember this time, what I can do now, employee ID will be give. He eligible for sync, but rules will restrict him. So everyone, it's clear, right, what I'm doing, guys?
Yes.
If you have any doubt, please ask. Why I'm doing in multiple testing? Because since we define our Entra Connect, we'll give them one feeder. That feeder is what? If employee ID not given, none of the employee will be synced. That is the first condition. Now on top of that, we are adding one more thing, is that in sync editor, rule editor, that if KPMG 1, then will be synced. Now what I can do now, in admin 5, Entra Connect, sorry, employee ID I'm giving. Acha, before that, I'll doing KPMG null, KPMG null. Okay. Then employee ID will make it 1. Sorry. Something that. Let's do that. Let's cross the finger. Let's see what happens. Yes. Let's see. I believe that account still not come. Yes, that is the problem actually. It will be work because of that rule is make the priority. Got my point? So finally, and conclusion is it's work. It will work. But why it is not working here? Because that rule is on priority. That is why that was taking. Got my point?
So can we exclude that rule?
Exclude that rule, not yet possible, but that exclusion we will do it our next, whenever we'll do our next PTA agent configure pass through, then we will not gonna enable any rule over there.
Okay. Because that for the primary rule, every object will be synced. It's not for the KPMG as your anything.
Yes.
That is the main thing.
The primary things,
But
every
how it will be.
no, primary things, what exactly I'm trying to say you that primary things, all users should be synced. That is the primary conditions. Then you have to set the inbound rule KPMG will sync. Now at a time we are seeing its rule is working, but that rule is making the priority. And that cannot be excluded, because at the time of you have done this, that will not work.
So here is also a precedence, right?
Precedence.
So if we change that will work.
No, that is already lower. That is the by default. Now that is make a 0. You cannot do anything there.
Okay, 0 and 1.
So here all the precedents you are giving, that is bigger than this default.
Okay. This is default value.
Yes.
Not the change.
Yeah. Okay. So things is that it is working. So we can explain it is working, right? Perfect.
Next time onwards, we will make it the employee ID will not set that.
Next time onwards, we will not gonna implement any attribute filter during our Entra Connect.
Okay.
And it will be flat. Based on that, we'll create the sync rule and I will do it.
Okay.
Clear? Actually, here two type of filters are overlapping. That is the problem. Two filters are overlapping. Now, primary filter.
Yeah, one is KPMG and one is the employee ID.
Employee ID. Now, employee ID, it is not showing there in sync rule editor because it is configured in Entra Connect and that is by default 0. That is the first priority. So it is winning. And another Entra which is obstructing here. That's it. But when I see but when we create a users there, we'll make that Entra Connect sync. That was not doing. Do one more things. Let's see. But yes, that will again win. So no need. So again the condition we have already defined, so it will not works. Anyway, no problems. So that we have done it. Let's do one thing. If I see there 15s. Oh, I think
Dada, I have one question.
yes.
There is only one user here, so it is being proceed one by one. If I had multiple users, so what solution would I have?
For in that case, as I telling you, if you have one user, you are changing attribute value by either 1 or 0 or employee ID, you are doing it. But if you have multiple user, then you need a PowerShell command. So in that case, yes, in that case, just a minute. This command, right?
Yes.
Okay, do one thing. So I'm doing it. Hold on. Just a minute. I'm coming. One more show. Hold on. Just a minute. জলটা করে দাও জল আছে Okay, so first of all, what we can do now, you need a total users. Got my point? You need a total user. So in that case, you can export user.
You need to first, I think, create an Excel sheet.
Excel sheet, yes. So in that case, this is your object. That is, I'm telling you now, Entra, everything depend on AD. Because you don't know AD, everything is blur. You no need to understand anything. Get hyphen AD user property search base. search base. And one more, you need a filter. Filter star, property star, filter star, filter star, property star. It is export, right? Now put in you give the locations. Okay, you give the locations. Let's say create a folder temp. Ad user dot csv. Got it? Now that all the users are exposed here, you can see now. Notepad. These are the list of users. One more pipe I need. Select hyphen object name comma Sam account name. Oh. Okay, now in this particular export you see only the name and their SAM account name. Got it? Clear? Now from there you just exclude only the name. Right? So in that case, what I can do now, all clear? Now this is your CSV, okay, and the CSV, you will just enter one more line, Sam account name, that's it. Now here what you need to do, one command you need to run and put it in a group. This is the command, PowerShell command you need to run, where on IAC. Don't run on this metal command line, IAC. ठीक है, click on, hit enter. What is staying? Okay, just a minute. Perfect. Now all of the users under this org, you can see that KPMG value, it's 1 0 0. If I go to here, 0. Right? So through these PowerShell techniques, you can upgrade bulk of user. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
So let's do some summary what we have done today, as this is a very many critical things we have discussed. The first part we have done how to upgrade schema extension. In this case, what you need to do, you can add some classified attribute which is required by your organization. By using attribute, then you map that attribute to the user, then it will be work for you ready. Perfect. Now second part, what we have done, same extension attribute we create in sync editor, make it one and try to sync. It was working, but unfortunate, while we set up the infrastructure in previous, we make that prior rule that if employee ID is 0, then it will work. That is extended right now, make a collision. So which is on the priority in top, that will win. So that is working and that is overlapping. But other than our testing and conclusion is absolutely right. Last part, how to export all the users at a time and how to set their attribute at a time if it is a bulk users. So lot of brainstorming session we have executed today. Anywhere anyone have any doubts? Anywhere anyone have any doubts? If you have any doubts, please ask. Because these are the feed for your interview, guys. So make it from that. Okay, guys, let me save that files.